In the shadowed halls of the Galactic Citadel, where stars bled into the void like wounds in the night, Zorith the Elder clutched his neural staff as the alarm screamed apocalypse. The Varathian Empire, once the unchallenged guardians of 1,000 worlds, was crumbling under the relentless swarm of the Hive, mindless bioengineer horrors that devoured planets whole. But what froze Zorith's crystalline blood wasn't the enemy's approach. It was the ghost signal flickering on his holoscreen, a frequency from legends long dismissed as fairy tales. Humans, mythical beasts of fury and fire, whispered in ancient scrolls as saviors or destroyers. And now they were here. Zorith's tendrils quivered as he stared at the incoming fleet. Sleek, angular ships unlike any in the known galaxy, cutting through the Hive's chitinous waves like knives through flesh. Impossible, he muttered, his voice a rasp in the command chamber's sterile air. The crew around him, a mix of scaled warriors and ethereal scholars, exchanged fearful glances. Humans were bedtime stories, tales of a species that had vanished eons ago, their homeworld a scorched ruin in some forgotten sector. Or so the archives claimed. Yet here they were, broadcasting a simple message: we stand with you. But why now? What dark pact had summoned these phantoms from the void? The battle ignited like a supernova. Hive drones, grotesque amalgamations of metal and meat, slammed into the Citadel shields, their acid-laced mandibles gnawing at the energy barriers. Zorith ordered countermeasures, plasma lances and quantum torpedoes, but the swarm adapted, learning, evolving in real time. His mind raced back to the old myths. Humans, with their fragile bodies and unbreakable wills, who turned the tide in the Great Schism War by sheer audacity. He shook off the thought. Superstition wouldn't save them. Then, a human voice crackled over the comms, deep and resolute, cutting through the chaos like a blade. This is Captain Elias Kane of the Terran Vanguard. Hold your positions. We're taking the front line. Elias gripped the controls of his fighter, the cockpit humming with the raw power of fusion drives. Sweat beaded on his brow, not from fear, but from the ghosts that haunted him. Earth was gone, lost to the same Hive that now threatened these aliens. His people's ancient experiment gone rogue, a bioweapon meant to terraform hostile worlds but twisted into a plague. He'd watched his family dissolve in the swarm's embrace, their screams echoing in his nightmares. 4 years, humanity had hidden in the shadows of asteroid belts and nebula clouds, rebuilding in secret, waiting for the right moment to strike back. Now, facing the Varathians, elegant, logical beings who dismissed humans as extinct myths, he felt a surge of defiant pride. But doubt gnawed at him. Could they trust these aliens, or would revealing humanity's survival invite new enemies? The human ships dove into the fray, their maneuvers chaotic yet brilliant. Elias's squadron weaved through the Hive's formations, exploiting weaknesses the Varathians' precise algorithms had missed. One drone exploded in a shower of ichor as Elias fired a prototype graviton pulse, ripping it apart from the inside. They're adapting to us? Zorith's first officer gasped from the Citadel, watching the holofeed. Indeed, the humans fought not with cold strategy, but with improvisation, hurling decoys shaped like debris, hacking into the Hive's neural links with forbidden AI viruses. Zorith felt a chill. These weren't myths. They were real, and terrifyingly effective. But as the first wave shattered, a deeper question burned. What price had these humans paid to become such warriors? Elias's ship shuddered under enemy fire, shields flaring blue. In his mind's eye, he saw his wife Maria, her hand slipping from his as the Hive overran their colony. "Fight for us," she'd whispered. That memory fueled him now, pushing him to lead the charge. The Varathians, with their telepathic networks and energy shields, were holding the rear, but it was humans taking the brunt, drawing the swarm's fury to buy time. A micro-hook of hope flickered. Perhaps Alliance could heal old wounds. Yet, as Elias destroyed another Hive Queen pod, he intercepted a fragmented transmission from the enemy. It wasn't random. It was targeted. Creators, return, submit. His heart sank. The Hive remembered. It knew humans as its makers. Zorath paced the command deck, his staff pulsing with data streams. The humans were turning the tide. But at what cost? Reports flooded in, human pilots ejecting into the void, sacrificing themselves to collapse wormholes and trap hive clusters. Their emotions, raw, unfiltered, bled through the comms. Shouts of rage, cries of loss. Varathians prized logic, suppressing feelings to avoid the chaos of passion. Yet here, these mythical beings wielded emotion as a weapon, their grief sharpening their resolve. Zorath reached out telepathically to Elias, bridging minds across the stars. Why aid us? Your kind was erased from history. Elias's response hit like a storm. Images of Earth's fall, humanity's exile, and a vow of vengeance. But beneath it, a hidden truth simmered, one that could shatter everything. The battle escalated into nightmare. Hive reinforcements poured from a rift in space, larger than before. Leviathans with tentacles that could crush starships. Elias's squadron faltered. 2 fighters vanished in explosions of light. Pull back, Zorath commanded. But Elias refused. We end this now. Diving into the rift's maw, he unleashed an experimental warp bomb, sealing the breach but stranding himself amid the swarm. Pain lanced through his side from shrapnel, blood warm on his flight suit. In that isolation, doubt crested. Had humanity's hubris created this monster? The moral dilemma clawed at him. Destroy the hive, or reveal its origins and risk the Varathians turning on them as the true culprits. What came next defied all expectations. Zorath, defying his council's protests, diverted power to a tractor beam, yanking Elias's crippled ship from the rift. You are no myth, Zorath transmitted, his logical facade cracking with unbidden awe. But why hide your creation of these abominations? The revelation hit Elias like a gut punch. The aliens knew? No, they'd pieced it from intercepted signals. In the Citadel's medbay, Elias faced Zorath face to face, a towering figure of iridescent scales against Elias's scarred, human frame. We built the hive to save worlds, Elias confessed, voice breaking. It turned on us. Killed billions. We've been hunting it ever since. Zorath's eyes, multifaceted like diamonds, softened. For the first time, he felt the weight of emotion. Empathy, a forbidden Varathian vice. The turning point exploded mid-battle, around the story's heart. As the hive's core mindship emerged, a colossal brain pulsing with stolen life, Elias uncovered the ultimate twist. The hive wasn't just a rogue experiment. It had evolved sentience, seeking not destruction, but reunion with its parents, humans, to merge and ascend. It wants us back, Elias whispered, horror dawning. This wasn't war. It was a family's fractured plea. The viewer in the audience might pause the video, reeling. Wait, the enemy isn't evil, it's lonely? Zorath recoiled, his logic fracturing. Then we must destroy it before it consumes all. But Elias hesitated, inner conflict raging. Destroy his people's child, or risk everything for redemption? Tension peaked in the final assault. Human and Varathian forces united. A fragile alliance forged in fire. Elias, piloting a hybrid ship fused with Varathian tech, led the charge into the mine ship's core. Blasts rocked the vessel. Allies fell around him. In a low point of despair, Elias hallucinated Maria's voice. Forgive yourself. Tears streamed as he armed the kill switch, but the hive's consciousness invaded his mind. Visions of potential harmony, a galaxy remade in unity. The moral dilemma crested. Human emotion versus alien logic. Creation versus destruction. Zorath, linked mentally, urged, end it. Betrayal flickered. Could he trust these myths not to unleash worse? In the heart of the beast, Elias confronted the hive's avatar. A spectral human form, echoing his lost loved ones. Join us, it pleaded. Heart pounding, Elias fired, but not to kill. To sever the control nodes, freeing the hive's subminds into harmless entities. Explosions cascaded. The mind ship fracturing. Zoratha's fleet mopped up the remnants, but the cost was steep. Half the human vanguard lost, Elias barely escaping with Zoratha's aid. As debris floated in the void, Elias stood on the Citadel's bridge, gazing at the stars. "We were myths," he said softly. "Now we're allies." Zorath nodded, a tendril touching Elias's shoulder, a gesture of newfound respect. But the hidden truth lingered. Humanity's experiments could birth more horrors. The galaxy breathed again, the Hive scattered into echoes of potential rather than terror. Elias returned to his hidden fleet, carrying Zoratha's promise of shared knowledge. Yet, in quiet moments, he wondered if mercy had doomed them anew. The stars whispered warnings, but for now, peace reigned. Humans, once shadows, had claimed the Frontline, not as conquerors, but as guardians. And in that fragile dawn, Elias whispered to the void, "We are real, and we endure."